Don't shoot the cowboy with the guitar. Well, I saw him here last night. He plays and sings.
Hello, folks, and thanks for tuning in to Raunchy Talk. I am your ever so tall, ever so thankful host, Kyle Martin. We're coming to you from Elephonic Studios in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Your captain, Mr. Jesse Corman, at the helm. My guest today, one of the Southwest's premier singer-songwriters and a guy who I think is one of the top blues guitarists anywhere today, Mr. Rudy Boy Jaramillo.
Hey, man.
What's up, brother? How are you?
I'm doing good, Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being on. I'm so excited to have you. Okay, first question, Rudy Boy, how did that get to be part of your name, sir?
Okay, well, so my name is Rutilio Jaramillo.
Yes.
And that's Rutilio Jaramillo Jr. So my dad was Rutilio Jaramillo Sr., and they used to call him Big Rudy, and they used to call me Rudy Boy. So there was a couple kids on my block. There was Big Jesse, and Jesse Boy was a neighbor, and then we was Big Rudy and Rudy Boy.
Big Jesse, Little Jesse, I like that.
Yeah,
See?
yeah. Instead of Little Jesse, they called him Jesse
See,
Boy.
folks, inquiring minds want to know. So I've been watching you burn for a while now, my man, and I want to talk about a couple different things. I found out recently that you played South by Southwest.
Well, I didn't actually do the South by Southwest festival itself, but I played there several times during the whole
the event, right?
Event, yeah. So I would go and book a gig out there and try to mingle in and get some exposure or whatnot. So I played down several times actually down in Austin during that. Yeah.
That's still like a brass ring in my book. Like, how did you feel like it went for you? Did you enjoy it? What did you think?
Well, Austin's a lot like Hollywood. So there's a lot going on, but there's no money to be made. But there's some really cool venues, and it's kind of one of those notches in your belt you got to get. Yeah.
No, I totally like that one. So you and I were talking before we went live. You estimate that you have out somewhere around between 15 and 20 albums. Do you say that's a close estimation?
Yeah. I started recording back in, it was like 1998, 1999. And that was with a band called Chico and the Cool Cats. And I put out probably about 4 records with them. And then I did a couple things in between the Chico and the Cool Cats and the Rudy Boy experiment, which is I was just going by the Rudy Boy Jaramillo trio.
Sure.
Did a couple records that way, and then I ended up putting up stuff as the Rudy Boy experiment probably like in 2001, 2002, somewhere in there. And then, I did a whole bunch of releases that were those were all indie releases, so I wasn't with any kind of label or anything. And then in 2010, I got with DSN Music, and those guys used to be, I don't know if you remember, Z-Rock.
Yeah, totally.
So those are the same guys. So the guys that used to have Z-Rock, it was a coast-to-coast rock radio station that was AM and also on FM.
Right.
They ended up starting DSN, and now they distribute music, and they have a few internet radio stations that plays my music too, and DSN Music, and I put out this new release that I have coming out that's going to be released tomorrow is going to be the 10th release I have with DSN.
Dude, that is awesome. That's prolific, folks. You got to work hard. You're going to put out that many records. I'm going to tell you right now. I know from experience. So you have 2 records out this year, or you're about to have your second album out. And so Wolf's Blues came out on May 12th.
Yes, sir.
Congrats. I like that a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've listened to it. And so One for the Dreamers, actually, when it airs, which will be, the record will have come out yesterday when this airs.
Oh, okay.
So it's made Amazon's new blues list, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. The label DSN called me up and told me, hey, we made this list, and I was like, really? Oh wow, that's great.
That's phenomenal, dude. That's like mega.
Yeah, and when it first hit, we were like second or third on the list. Now I think we've kind of come down a little bit, but we're right under Bonamassa, and that was cool.
That's decent company, folks, in case you don't know. Just letting you know right now. So now it's time for Rock in a Hard Place, sir. What city consumes more potato chips per capita than any other?
I'm going to say Phoenix, Arizona.
Phoenix, Arizona. I like that guess. The answer is actually Detroit, Michigan, sir.
Detroit, wow.
Which means absolutely nothing other than Pete Anderson was born in Detroit, Michigan.
Yes, he was.
So Pete Anderson was Dwight Yoakam's guitar player and producer for about 18 years.
Yeah, all the really great stuff was Pete. Yeah.
We're gonna get there. He produced Roy Orbison. He produced Buck Owens, and he produced somebody else. Who was that? Oh yeah, you.
Oh yeah.
Yes. How in the hell did that happen, sir?
Well, I got a guitar endorsement with a company called Reverend Guitars, and
Cha-ching.
and when that happened, I ended up I ended up going out to Nam to go and visit him. Now, when that happened, they didn't give me like a pass or anything like that. I went and got a pass through Music Around here in Albuquerque through my good buddy Lawrence and Dave and Ruben and all those guys. And I got that pass to the NAMM, and I went and I just showed up. And I was like, I just got the endorsement. So I showed up. I show up to the Reverend booth, and I'm like, "Hi, you remember me?" They're like, so yeah, I'm Rudy Boy. You gave me an endorsement. I go, "Oh yeah." So then every year after that, I just kept on showing up, and I ended up meeting Pete Anderson there.
Wow.
And the first year I met him, I was just was kind of awestruck and got to know him a little bit.
Sure.
And then the second year, I got the courage and I said, "Hey, I'd love to come and record it at your studio." He goes, "Yeah, man, this is Kevin. He's my guy. Why don't you set it up with him?" And then he kind of walked off. And then I did that and just kind of kept on building the relationship. And then before he knew it, I was recording at his place, and he knew me on a first name basis, and we got to know each other. And he's a great guy. And it turned out we have a friend in common who used to play trumpet here at the Blues Jams. This guy Billy he lives in Chicago now. He would come out and blow and everything. And then I found out they grew up together, so there was that connection. And he's, like I said, he's a really great guy, and he's been really cool to me. He really has. He's helped me out, and he believes in music, so that's
Dude,
how it
yes.
is.
As soon as I knew you were doing that, I was like wicked stoked. Now, can you talk a little bit about the amp that he let you play through? Because you told me some about that.
Oh yeah, it was a Tone Master amplifier that he used in a lot of the Dwight recordings in the '90s, and it's been on like Lucinda Williams records, and there's so many I can't even count. And also there was a snare drum, this paper snare that he uses on all his records. We got to use the snare drum, and they let me use the Tone Master, and man, that thing it could sound clean, it could sound dirty. It's just a badass amplifier, and it sounded great. And I got to do a couple tunes with that one. Yeah.
Dude, that is so awesome. For those that don't know, Dwight Yoakam is like one of my biggest music heroes of all time, and we opened him up for him a while back. So it's a hot topic, all right? That's all I'm saying. So that album was called The Way It Is Now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir.
And I think that we're gonna maybe play the second song off of that record today, I think. A song called Me.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that too?
Well, that was the first song I ever wrote. I was about 14 years old, and I had met this guy. My brothers and I, some friends, met this guy partying. We were like partying down at the river, like we do here in New Mexico.
Yes.
And this guy was playing some songs on his guitar and singing great, and I was just so impressed with him. And I asked him, I was like, I don't even remember the guy's name. I just asked him, I said, how do you do that? How do you like make your own songs? And he goes, you just do it. You want to write a song, you just write it. Just do it. And that's the only way you can do it. I was like, okay. So I went home and I sat down and I wrote that song.
Commitment and perseverance, yet again, folks, shows you what you can do in this music industry. Folks, I give you Me by Mr. Rudy Boy Jaramillo.
Wake up in the morning, put my clothes on, just to go to work and see that my life is gone. Sometimes I wonder if it's worth the trouble, you see, to become someone I sure would love to be. Won't you come on, baby? Can't you see that I like it being me? Come on, baby. Can't you see that I like, Lord, being me? everybody. There's a dreamer, you see. There's a dreamer in all of you, and there's a dreamer in me. Won't you come on now, baby? Can't you see that I like it in me? Come on, baby. Can't you see that I like it? Ooh, in me.
Thank you, Mr. Rudy Boy Jaramillo. Thank you, Alphonic Studios. My name is Kyle Martin. Live long and prosper.
Don't shoot the cowboy with the guitar. Well, I saw him